Hi, everyone. This is Farmer Katie. We are just getting set up here and ready to go. We will be waiting until about 2 o'clock, and then we will go ahead and get started. So, hi, everyone. We are going to go live in 3 more minutes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the video chats today. I'd like to welcome you to our farm. We are a third-generation family dairy farm in Berks County, Pennsylvania. So we have about 280 cows and about 170 heifers. So the young stock that we care for every single day. We don't get the holidays off. Cows still like to need to get milked and cared for every day. So I want to welcome you on this beautiful day. Today I am, as you can see, I have a couple calves here with me. So these are the calves that were part of the Adopt a Calf project. So some of you may recognize your calf. And the first one we're going to talk about is Bingo. So, and she was born in October. So she was October 20th. I'm going to try to get her to shoo over closer to you so you can see how much she's grown. So there she is looking at you. And she has a friend with her as well. The friend's name is Patty. So we're going to focus a little bit more on Bingo if she's not so shy for the camera here. So just want to start with, when she was younger, she was receiving milk, and then she started eating some grain, and then she was transitioned over to it at the time, so it would have energy, protein, vitamins, minerals, the things that she needed to be able to grow healthy and strong in it for her. And then she also has a little bit of hay added to her diet. So as you can see, she's growing nicely. So she started out at about 103 pounds whenever she was born. So remember, that was back in October. She was already 103 pounds. And now I would say she's probably about 450, 500 pounds. So she's definitely increased in both her height and her weight. So she was 34 inches when she was born. And I didn't actually measure her today, but you can kind of see from me to there. I'm like 5'5", so you can kind of tell what she is compared to me. So she doesn't drink milk anymore. She was transitioned off of the milk onto the grain, the hay, and then she drinks lots of water. So, and she's being very friendly today. She's going to come and give me lots of kisses. So, so a little bit about her. We did. I'm going to make sure you can keep seeing her so you can see how much she's grown. Did you want to do the questions now? So, or did you want to do the tool? We're going to go ahead. We'll come back to her in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to walk around the dairy complex so you can see the large cows that are going to be milked here shortly. And a little bit, I'll give you a little bit more information as we go along. Okay. All right, so if you want to come along with me, where these heifers are at, this is not their normal home. I should have told you that to begin with. This is actually what we call our sort pen area. So if we have any cows that may need some type of special treatment or needs to be bred, they will get sorted into these pens after they're done being milked. They'll come into here. We can, if we need to take their temperature, give them any medication, or just check for different things, we can go ahead, put them in here, and then we can release them once we are done back out into the general population. So. If you do have questions, feel free to go ahead, put them in the chat, and then we can answer those at the end for you. So as we come out here, this is what is called a freestall barn. So our cows are housed out here, and we try to make them as comfortable as possible. So there are a lot of design features to this barn that are designed with the cow in mind. As you look out across there, you see there's a fair amount of cows laying down, and they're just chewing their cud. And if you recall, cows are ruminants, so they can eat things that we can't, and I'll get into that a little bit more, but cud is involved with being a ruminant. So now we're going to have a few friendly ones come and visit us here. So if you can see, they are actually laying down in sand. So the cows get to go to the beach every day. They just get to go hang out, lay in the sand, and soak up the sunshine. That sand is, we use it for a couple different reasons. The first reason is it's the gold standard for the cows. So the cows love it. They love laying down in it. It's very comfortable. It gives them, if they need to move, it kind of moves a little bit with them. It's not hard, but it's soft enough for them to lay in. It's also clean. It doesn't build up a bunch of junk in it. So that helps keep the cows healthy. And it's also, if you look here, this is what's called a flush head. So we can take, and the cows usually go to the bathroom in these alleyways here. This area here, we take and use recycled water and flush down through the alleyways. And that picks up the manure, but as well as the cows also kick sand out. So that sand then goes down. We'll go to the end of the barn and look further into that, but that can further be recycled. So one great thing that we try to do a lot of is recycling. And you can tell for the bedding purposes, we recycle. Some of the things we feed cows with, we recycle, that humans would be literally just throwing in the landfill. It's something that cows are able to utilize. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving through this pen over here. We have some special pens for our cows. These pens right here are cows that have just recently given birth and have had babies. So we like to keep them separate from the herd so that they can be closely monitored. And the pen up above there, those ones are actually waiting to have their babies. They will be due within the next couple of days. So we like to keep an eye on them. Sometimes we need to assist them with their birth. And so we will keep an eye on them to make sure that if they need help, we can be there to help them. So we'll go ahead and come on over here. So where we're at right now is the feed alley. So the feed alley is, we try to keep that separate from where the cows are actually at. That's why we have this rail here. It's called a neck rail. It just keeps the cows from coming out into their feed because cows are not as clean as we are. So they like to they would just roam anywhere you would let them. And we don't want them in their feed because we want to keep the feed clean. That way they eat it and they stay healthy. So if we take a look at the feed here, do you think you could eat this? Would you want to eat it? I don't know. It doesn't look very appetizing to me. It smells really good, but it has a lot of stuff in it that I don't think I can eat. Do you think you can eat grass or corn stalks? I don't think I can, but cows can because they're pretty awesome. It goes back to that being a ruminant, which means they have 4 stomach compartments, and that allows them to digest things that we can't. So they're coming for their snacks here. They want to know what's going on. It's cottonseed, so it's a byproduct of the cotton industry. It's something that the cows can consume to give them a little bit of energy and fiber. So that helps us to extend our forage inventories. One thing that we can't control is the weather. So we hope that every year we're given quality crops of enough quantity that we can feed all the cows. But if the weather doesn't cooperate, we may run a little short on some. And so we can use cottonseed as a way to help to extend that forage inventory. So some other things that cows may be able to eat that we humans don't, or else humans are going to get rid of by throwing it in the landfill. Excess supply of chocolate, bakery waste, pasta, things that cannot be sold for human consumption may be able to be fed to cows. So we also, excuse me, there's also some old fruit, maybe some fruit that isn't quite as good at the store anymore. It's something that can go ahead and be fed to the cows as well. So we work with different suppliers to try to make sure that that we can get different quality ingredients. We want a consistent product, so the suppliers help us to do that. And the one thing I need to mention here is, I'm not sure if you guys always like to eat what you're supposed to, like your vegetables and fruit. And I know you're going to be eating your dairy all the time, so I don't need to bother about telling you that you need 3 times a day to eat your dairy. But our cows have a nutritionist. So the nutritionist comes to the farm, sample, so he'll get our corn silage and our triticale and the different feed things that we have to feed the cows, and then he'll give us a recipe. The pile here, it's the same nutrient density. So that's very important. Now, I don't know if you can see here, I have something creeping up behind me. Do you think we should go check out what that is? So, what in the world? Do you think we have a UFO here? What is this thing? What is it doing? So, as you can see, and then they push it out because that's just how they eat. They like to do that. So we want to make sure they always have feed in front of them. They pretty much have an all-day buffet. All day, all night, they can eat whenever they want. So this helps to ensure that it is within their reach then. So this little thing runs about once an hour, depending on the schedule, but for the most part, it's about once an hour, and it just will push the feed up so that the cows have access to it. So. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we can go up here. We're going to check out some other pens. These are also cows that are going to be shortly giving birth, but I have a very special surprise for you in here. So before we do their pen, though, I did want to show you what their feed looks like. So if you look at this, it's a little different than what the milk cows were eating. So the milk cows need a little bit more nutrient density in their feed supplement and in their diet, whereas dry cows do not. We don't want them to have too much energy or to cause them complications after they calve or give birth. So this has a lot more hay. It's a little longer stem, and that helps them with their rumen to keep it healthy. So that is why their feed looks quite different than the other cows there. So we're going to head on in here. So if you do look over there, you kind of see flat out. She may be giving birth shortly. That's sort of one of the signs that they may give us that, hey, I'm flat out and I may start to have my calf soon. So we'll keep a good eye on her to make sure if she needs assistance that she can get it. If she can have the calf on her own, then we'll allow her to do that and lick it off. And then we'll take care of it from there. So I do have a little surprise for you though. So if you want to come over here, we actually have a little calf that was just born. So look at how cute. She's pretty tiny, but she is very perky and alert. And she can actually get up. Not sure if she'll get up for me here, but calves are actually able to walk with about an hour after giving birth. So compared to humans that take it about a year till we can walk, it's pretty remarkable that they can just get up and jump around and run away if they wanted to. So that's why she's in a pen here. We want to keep her safe, and we don't want her to get stepped on by the cows, or we don't want her to wander away. So I do have, if you'd like to put this in the chat, she will need a name, and I'm going for a name that starts with P. So P as in Petunia or Penelope, yeah. Anything. So if you have a good suggestion, go ahead. You can put it in the chat there. So, all right. Questions? Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead, go back and see bingo. As we are going back, I do want to point out, I had sort of insinuated about the cows and their comfort. There are large fans throughout the barn, and that helps to keep the cows cool whenever it's warm out. They are actually on a thermostat, so when it gets to a certain temperature, the fans will automatically kick on. So even if we aren't here and it gets to a certain temperature and humidity, the fans will kick on so that the cows are comfortable, cool down. And we also have a really other cool feature, which is a sprinkler. So the cows get to play in a sprinkler during the summertime. It just goes on every so many minutes, depending on the temperature. Today, it's a little chilly yet for that to kick on, but the cows prefer cold to hot. So whenever it gets about 70 degrees, we need to start cooling them down some. So those types of features will kick on for the cows. And then that water that is used will actually help to recycle the sand and to clean the alleyways for us. Oh. So Bingo decided it was nap time. She decided to lay down on us. There she is. So you can kind of see she's chewing there. So that's part of chewing her cud. So they'll eat feed, and then it'll go into their stomach, and then they'll burp it back up and re-chew it, and then swallow it again, and that helps them with digestion of it. So. All right, so we will go ahead and do some questions.
What kinds of trucks and tractors do you have? That's from Cash in Chambersburg.
Hi, Cash. I appreciate the question. So we do run green tractors, John Deere tractors, and the trucks around here are Dodge, but don't tell anyone I really like Chevys. So.
Nicole wants to know, what do you do with the cows when you're finished milking them?
Okay, so when the cows are finished milking, they actually just get to go back out into the freestyle barn there and hang out. They can eat, sleep, drink water, run around. The one thing we didn't get down to is we have a couple brushes, and the cows can get their back scratched throughout the day anytime they want. Milking happens twice a day, and it only lasts about 5-10 minutes for each group of cows. So the cows are not being milked that long. So they're really just away from that area. They come into this large area and then wait their turn to get milked, and then they just they just get to go right back out there. So.
Patty would like to know how much Bingo will weigh when she's full grown.
Okay, when Bingo is full grown, she could weigh, probably after she has her first calf, she may weigh like 1,400 pounds, and then she can get up to a ton. We have had some cows that are over 2,000 pounds.
Angela wants to know, how much milk will she produce when she's full grown?
Okay, when she is full grown, so our cows right now are averaging about 88, 90 pounds of milk per cow per day. So there's 8.6 pounds of milk in each gallon of milk. So if you do the math, it's about 10 gallons, right? Just my math right there quickly. So.
This is from Johnny. How many tags do you have?
Okay, so we have about 170 total young animals that have not had their first calf yet. But calf-wise, I have about 48 calves in the calf barn that I'm caring for.
All right. We've got lots of name options.
I see there's some really good names there, I see. Yeah, Princess, Pixie, Paisley, Pancake, Petra. Yeah. How do you know who is who? Well, that's a very good question. So each of them does have a tag on. So Bingo's number here is 887. The one thing I didn't show you, I'm not sure if you can see, she has a little button in her other ear, a little white button. That's a transponder. So when she gets to be a cow, she will actually get fitted with like a activity tracker, and rumination tracker that will help us if any of them don't feel good or something's off a little bit. It will alert us to that. So that's what that other tag is for.
Miss Lenkowski's class wants to know, how old will Bingo live to be?
Okay, so for just like people, there can be a wide range of age. So a cow is about 2 years old whenever she first has her first calf, and then she can live. Some live up to like 12 years old, but the average is probably about sort of like if you need orthotics. as a person. It just helps to give them the right support. So, yep, that is what our pedicurist is a hoof trimmer.
I'm not sure how much water and food do they eat when they're big?
Okay, so when they are a cow, they are able to drink about a bathtub full of water a day, and then they eat a large amount of feed, so about 100 pounds of feed a day. So it's a lot, but they are taking something that we can't consume. So we can't consume corn stalks, we can't consume grass, and they turn it into products that we can then consume, and it's highly nutritious. So, okay. Yeah, if there are any other questions, you can feel free to go ahead and type them in there.
What's the cow's feed called?
The feed is called TMR, so that stands for Total Mixed Ration. So that is an example, the diet, the nutritionist formulates that for them.
Where do they go after this?
Okay, so once these girls will be on our farm for about 6 months, and then after 6 months, we'll take them to another farmer who will care for them for us. It's called a custom heifer grower. So he will take care of them. He will ensure that they have their first baby. They'll come back to our farm before they have that baby, so that then once they do have the baby, then they can get started milking. So, and then we can take care of the babies. Okay. Yeah. All right. See if we can get her close to the camera here. So she's a little curious. She's like, "What's going on here?" Huh? I know, you're sweet. Huh. All right. If there's any last minute questions, please feel free to reach out and we can answer them.
Oh, Percy if it's a boy, or Pebbles if it's a girl.
Okay. All right. It sounds like, yes, we have some good names there. Percy for a boy and Pebbles for a girl for the newborn calf there.
How many times do you have to check on them a day?
Okay, so the cows are, they're monitored through their ear tag, but there's typically someone in the barn most of the day. So if there is any change in their health status, then we would get alerted to that. The calves, they are fed twice a day. And so then we are checking on them at that time, making sure they look perky, that they're interested in eating and drinking. So, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate it. And as you can go ahead and give one last shout out there to Bingo. Of course, her friend here is taking up the camera spotlight. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for coming on today.